Hi, this is the second of Autocar India's Expo Buzz podcast presented by Kotak Mahindra Prime, and I'm going to be talking cars and SUVs again with Hormaz Sorabji. Hormaz, it's been a week since we recorded the last pod, but you've been really busy in that week, haven't you?
Yeah, a lot been happening, and I think obviously in the build up to the Auto Expo, everyone's getting excited, and you can really feel the fever build up. Companies are announcing what they are bringing, but obviously some of them are keeping things to them quite closely to their chest. So really, it's going to be quite an exciting show, and I think it's really going to be one of the best shows we've had yet.
Well, I know you have a big scoop that you've reserved for the podcast, but we'll come to that in just a bit. First, Hormaz, I want to talk to you about Maruti Suzuki, India's largest car maker. They traditionally kick off Media Day at the Auto Expo. What can we expect from Maruti? I know there's going to be the new hatchback, the Celerio, but that's a hatchback with a global appeal as well.
That's right. I think the Celerio really is the top star for Maruti. It is going to be a global launch over there. I think it's the worst kept secret in the industry. The name is out. There are spy pictures all over the net. So I think what we can see, it's a grand i10 competitor. Probably maybe positioned slightly below. So I would expect it to be a little bit more competitive on price. And I think that's really going to be what Maruti is really banking on.
And we've also seen a lot of spy pics of a possible SX4 replacement. Is that going to be shown at the expo as well?
I don't think so, because I think the SX4 replacement, or the YL1, the code which it's known by, is still many months away, and I think Maruti don't want to showcase it, build expectation, and then really not have it available for customers. And I suspect there, as it is, some SX4s in the pipeline, so those would stop selling. So clearly, I think Celerio, because it's ready for launch, it's going to be launched at the expo, so that's why they're showcasing it there.
One final word on Maruti. At the last expo, their big unveil was an SUV, a compact SUV concept. And of course, we know also that they're going to be showing the IV4 SUV concept again at the expo this year, slowly continuing their push in towards SUVs?
That's right. I think SUVs is where the focus area for Maruti is. That's where they really think, is going to be where their future is. Really, they're banking a lot on SUVs. So the S-Cross is going to be the first sort of hybrid or quasi SUV that's coming, more of a crossover for sure. And with that, in the future, there's going to be a compact SUV, but that's still many years away. So clearly, SUV is an important segment for Maruti, where they are currently absent.
So moving to another Japanese manufacturer, Hormaz, Honda, we know they've already unveiled the city and announced prices, so that's done and dusted. But it's not like Honda's done for 2014. The Mobilio is going to be the star of the stall, and what else are they going to have?
Well, it's going to be the Mobilio and the Jazz that's going to be there, and I think they've got a concept called the Vision XS1. Now, I think it's important not to read too much into this concept. They brought a concept because they had to bring something, and from what we understand, this concept is really not slated for production. In fact, I understand there was an internal tussle whether to bring it or not, because if you bring it, it just leads to wild speculation that it's definitely coming. It's a bit of a big MPV concept. Probably Honda is looking at that segment in some shape or form, but clearly the XS1 really is unlikely to see the light of day.
Talking of another manufacturer that made a massive generated massive buzz at the last expo, Ford had the global unveil of the EcoSport. Alan Mulally was down at Auto Expo. What are they going to be doing this year? Another global unveil on the cards, I hear?
Yeah, I think this is going to be, I think the next gen Figo is what you can expect. It's called the B562. And it is going to be the Figo replacement of sorts, but that will only come in 2015. Sometime in January. It won't be launched this year. Something like they did with the EcoSport as well. So that's going to be really their big one. But I think the surprise is the Fiesta is going to get a facelift. That new grille, it really looks good. It's got a bit of an Aston Martin look in it, and I think they're going to be competitively pricing that as well. As it is, they slashed prices on the Fiesta Classic. So what that suggests is that they're making way for even a more competitively priced Fiesta, the regular Fiesta, and with the facelift, they're hoping to put the Fiesta back into the mid-size fight.
Moving to another American car maker, General Motors. I know you have a lot of insight into what GM's going to be doing at Auto Expo.
Yeah, I think what has been announced is they're going to be showing the new Corvette, the C7 that's been just launched, recently. Then you've got the Camaro. But I think the big surprise is that they're going to be showing a compact SUV, a micro SUV, as they say, and it's still in concept stage. But clearly, it shows GM's intent to take the Ford EcoSport head on. They've got the mechanicals for that. They've got a 1.2 petrol, and they've got a 1.3 diesel, which is similar to the Fiat diesel. It was jointly developed between GM and Fiat. So I think this is really going to be the big one from GM, the surprise from GM at the Auto Expo.
And next on my list is Renault. We've seen the facelifted Koleos in the magazine already, probably the facelifted Duster. What else are Renault going to be doing?
Well, I think what they are looking at is the Fluence. I think the Fluence is going to be given a facelift, and they've announced that they're bringing a concept. Now, honestly, I don't have much information on that, except that a Renault insider has said it's going to be a very out-of-the-box concept, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Talking of SUVs and compact SUVs, the Skoda Yeti facelift is coming as well?
That's right. I think that's really not been announced, but we know for a fact that the Skoda Yeti facelift is being revealed at the Auto Expo, and I think I'm a huge Yeti fan. I think it's just a fantastic car. It's just a pity it doesn't sell so well. So I think hopefully that might give it a bit of a shot in the arm. Not really going to do huge numbers, but at least keep it going at least for a while.
All right, and on that note, we're going to take a quick break here. So listen to some music and a word from our sponsor, and when we come back, we'll have Hormuz's big scoop and a lot more.
Narrowed down on your dream car? Before you buy, head to carloan.kotak.com and check out a wide range of new, used and refinanced car loans. It's hassle-free. In fact, your loan could be approved in just 2 days, and if it's a customized scheme you're looking for, they have you covered. Call 1-800-209-5732. Visit carloan.kotak.com or email marketing@kotak.com.
Welcome back to part 2 of Autocar India's Expo Buzz podcast presented by Kotak Mahindra Prime, where we're talking about the new cars and SUVs that will come to Auto Expo 2014 with Hormuz Surajji. But Hormuz, before we get to new cars and SUVs coming in, the big scoop, I believe you have the name of Tata's new hatchback.
It is. It's called the Tata Bolt. So it's not going to be called the Falcon. What we hear is it's called the Tata Bolt. It's a completely new name because they're positioning this as a completely new car, and for all practical purposes, it is an all-new car because it's got new skin, it's got new interiors, a new face, and even a new engine with the 1.2 turbo petrol, the Revertron, which has just been announced and unveiled. Of course, they've got the 1.3 Fiat diesel that still continues. So I think clearly, actually, this could be a bit of a surprise because I think Tata Motors has really worked hard on kind of really addressing all the past issues of the Vista, and in this new avatar, I think they've really taken care of a lot of the problems that plagued it. We're just fingers crossed that the car has reliability on its side, because that really has plagued Tata products in the past. But I think really, from what I understand, they've really worked hard to really kind of give a fresh lease of life to their new hatchback. And there's a bit more news that we are going to see the AMT or automatic manual transmissions on several models. The Nano, we are going to see, in fact, we broke the news with Autocar Professional that an automatic manual transmission is going to be seen in the Nano. It's not a CVT. But the other big news is that the Falcon 5, now I don't know the name of the sedan yet, that one is also going to be launched with an automatic manual transmission. The AMT is going to find itself first in the saloon over there.
Breaking news, you heard it first right here on the Expo Buzz podcast. And now Hormuz, the other big Indian manufacturer, Mahindra. I remember at the Auto Expo 2 years ago, they had this massive stall encompassing everything that they did, from trucks to bikes to SUVs, and SsangYong, which was their new acquisition then, was the big star. What will we see from M&M in 2014?
But I think we're going to see some SsangYong concepts over there, which is from the SsangYong side. So that's going to be there, and those are going to be pointing to future SsangYong models, compact SUVs, that sort of thing, which is quite obvious. The Formula E race car, that's going to be there as well. So I think you can expect that. But there are going to be some surprises. One is there's going to be a diesel hybrid SUV. That's been confirmed, and one that is being very close to production ready. So that's really going to be quite exciting. We saw some work being done on a Scorpio diesel hybrid in the past. It was more in development stage, but I don't know this for sure, but I think it could be the XUV 500, which has gone hybridization from Mahindra's. So that's the exciting thing. But the real excitement is going to be an electric sports car, a sub 4 meter electric sports car, a Riva car, and I think that's going to be their showstopper.
Just two car makers to wrap things up, Hormuz. India's biggest luxury car maker at the moment in terms of sales, Audi. They obviously want to retain that title, lots of pressure from competition. So we're going to see more offerings from them, especially the A3 sedan.
I think the A3 sedan is going to be their most significant launch over there, because clearly that's going to be a big volume model, and we are going to come close to the launch of that. I think a very interesting car is going to be the A8, the security, which is fully bulletproofed and whatever proofed, and it's going to, I think it's one of the most expensive cars you can buy. It'll be upwards of 6-7 crores with all that protection and plating that it's got. So really that's what Audi has, and they'll be having the usual stuff and the usual range as well.
Jaguar Land Rover, we know the F-Type Coupe is going to come in. What else will we see from JLR?
F-Type Coupe is going to come in. We are going to see the Evoque with the 9-speed gearbox. Model year 14 Evoque with the 9-speed ZF gearbox, that is coming, and the Range Rover long wheelbase. And the news is that for all Bollywood fans, Kareena Kapoor is going to launch it.
There you go. Another bit of breaking news on the podcast. But that's it, Hormuz. I think we're pretty much wrapped up with cars and SUVs. But before we go, I want a quick word from you. The February issue of Autocar India magazine is there. And if you see the cover and if you see the centerpiece of that issue is, of course, our Expo preview. Lots of stuff in there that absolutely nobody else has.
Absolutely. I think our Expo previews have always been the most comprehensive. Obviously, things might change going towards the Expo, but really we worked hard at bringing you the most accurate, the most comprehensive review you can find.
Hormuz, thank you so much. That just about wraps things up for the Expo Buzz podcast presented by Kotak Mahindra Prime. Join us next week when we'll move on to bikes, and we'll have Rishad Cooper and Karthik Singhi on the show. Until then, keep heading over onto the Autocar India website for all the latest news and happenings and all the buzz you want related to Auto Expo 2014.
Narrowed down on your dream car? Before you buy, head to carloan.kotak.com and check out a wide range of new, used and refinanced car loans. It's hassle-free. In fact, your loan could be approved in just 2 days, and if it's a customized scheme you're looking for, they have you covered. Call 1-800-209-5732. Visit carloan.kotak.com or email marketing@kotak.com.